Welcome to the Nation of History channel. Be sure to subscribe and like so you don't miss out on more videos like this one.
In the 1990s, the image of residents watching the attacks against the Russian White House reflects a period of strong internal and external tensions in the country, marked by instability after the end of the Soviet Union. This era revealed the challenges of building a new democratic order. Union and Confederate veterans, 50 years after the Battle of Gettysburg, meet for a handshake in 1913. This ceremony symbolizes reconciliation after the conflict that shaped United States history, reinforcing the importance of peace and national unity. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, the Lamborghini Countach symbolized the peak of automotive extravagance, marking an era of innovation and status among luxury sports cars, while older vehicles and nostalgic lighting show the transition of this supercar peak period. In 1964, signs of social separation, such as a water fountain marked white only, reflected discriminatory laws and the system of racial exclusion then in place in the United States, reinforcing divisions between social groups and causing deep civil inequalities. During the Vietnam period, service members received small Christmas gifts that brought comfort in a difficult setting, with old uniforms, portable radios, colorful tree decorations, and items sent from home, reinforcing the importance of moments of hope. During the height of hyperinflation in Germany in 1923, children played with worthless money, reflecting the economic collapse that reduced the mark to billions per dollar. This crisis created strong social and cultural instability, showing the devastating effects of uncontrolled inflation on everyday life. The lookout who identified the iceberg linked to the Titanic in 1912 is shown wearing formal clothing from the time, with short hair and a flat-brimmed hat. His action was decisive in the episode that marked the 20th century, leading to the introduction of new maritime safety rules. Stephen Hawking, with his thick glasses and wheelchair, appears in a 1971 photo during a relaxed moment on a beach where casually dressed people enjoy the sea and sand. This period marked advances in theoretical physics, and Hawking was already known for his work on black holes, influencing the understanding of the universe for decades. The Tower of Barrels, a symbol of resistance during Prohibition in the United States, illustrated a moment when the country restricted the production and sale of drinks in 1929, leading to the growth of unauthorized networks and the strengthening of parallel groups tied to the banned trade. The figure of a man in a period uniform captured in a black and white photograph points to the year 1946, a time marked by the Nuremberg trials, which became a milestone in international justice by holding leaders of the German regime accountable for serious historical violations. Salvador Dali, with hairstyle and clothing typical of the late 1960s, walks through a European city street accompanied by an anteater and a sloth, unusual animals at the time. This photo highlights the surrealist artist's phase of artistic experimentation, as he sought to expand the limits of creativity. The construction of Brand Castle in Romania reveals imposing architecture with tall towers and stone walls dating back to the 14th century and serving as a fortress. Its dark and mysterious atmosphere influenced vampire stories, becoming established in popular culture and European history as a symbol of legends and ancient fear. The climb of tourists and their guides over the rocks of the pyramid, built with massive blocks, reflects the fascinating exploration of Egypt in the 19th century, a time when archaeological missions sparked global interest. This moment marks the growing study and recognition of ancient civilizations. Futuristic office designs reflected technological advances, including large computers and video game consoles. Artificial lighting, furniture with innovative design, dark floors, and air-conditioned ceilings illustrate the search for efficient, modern environments that influence the design of modern workspaces. During the 1920s, scenes like this captured playful use of primitive vehicles that came before more advanced forms of transportation, such as the Segway. This image shows creativity and innovation in a time marked by technological progress and changing lifestyles. In the late 1980s, the presence of cell phones and winter clothing points to the period when the world was beginning to integrate modern technologies. The popularity of the Great Wall of China as a setting shows the growth of international tourism, reflecting the country's opening to the rest of the world. During the excitement over victory in World War II, deception strategies such as inflatable tanks helped confuse German forces, especially before the Normandy landings in 1944. These tactics were essential to ensuring the success of Allied operations in Europe. In the 19th century, advertisements for medicinal products were common, and often contained ingredients now considered inappropriate, which at the time were sold as effective solutions. This practice reflected the limited medical regulation of the period and influenced the development of modern pharmaceutical safety laws. With traditional clothing and an old shaving machine, a scene reveals an indoor setting for explanation or demonstration, possibly in a 19th century barbershop, reflecting technological advances that shaped the history of personal hygiene and influenced men's grooming culture. In the early 20th century, Elizabeth McJay patented the landlord's game in 1904, an intellectual competition that became a precursor to Monopoly. This innovation stood out for its role in introducing economic concepts and popularizing strategy games in the United States, influencing their development to this day. In the early 20th century, a Kodak truck displaying advertising drove through the streets in 1912, reflecting the popularization of film and photography as forms of communication. The black and white image symbolizes the technological and cultural progress of that era. Swedish singer Agnetha Fältskog, then with long blonde hair, wears modern white clothing from the 1970s in a photo where the hairstyle and makeup reflect the decade's fashion. Her striking presence helped popularize pop music in Sweden and internationally. In New York City in 1890, competitors rode penny farthing bicycles in a race at an open-air stadium, reflecting innovation and excitement around the mobility technology of the time, which promoted urban development and marked the growth of recreational activities in the metropolis. Old cars and tall buildings show the atmosphere of New York in 1941, when affordable parking options were beginning to appear in the city, showing economic growth and urban modernization. The 50 cents for the day sign reflects changes in transportation and mobility during that period. Tourists stand on the observation platform of the Statue of Liberty, a symbol of freedom and resilience in the United States. During the 1960s, the country was living through the height of the Cold War, a moment that reinforced the monument's meaning as a symbol of democratic hope amid global tensions. Elegant passengers, wearing hats and clothing typical of the 1940s, travel comfortably in a large Pan-American aircraft, a symbol of the expansion of air tourism at the time. That decade marked advances in commercial aviation, making international connections easier and driving global economic growth. The Simca convertible Special Ghia was displayed at the Paris show in October 1954, showing a combination of French engineering and Italian design. Its presence highlighted innovation in the European auto industry after World War II, strengthening technological partnerships at the time. The figure, possibly a young Apache Native American in a 19th century photograph, wears typical clothing with a buttoned jacket and styled hair, suggesting a period close to 1860 in the United States. His image reveals the context of native wars against the advance of the American army at the time. At the celebration of his 18th birthday, a young man with short, voluminous hair appears surrounded by colorful balloons in a setting with warm lights and cabinets in the background, reflecting the fashion and youthful look of the time. This moment marks the transition into adulthood, which would be important in his artistic path. The pool at the Hotel Alcazar in St. Augustine, Florida, reveals the elegance of late-century buildings with artificial waterfalls. Its construction reflects the architectural style of the 1880s, highlighting the technological progress of the time in photography and the growth of tourism in the region. Syd Barrett, a central figure in the British music scene, appears with his cat Frisky in 1964, a period when color images were becoming more popular. This era marked the rise of the psychedelic movement, influencing style and youth culture, reflected in the fashion and settings of the time. The photo of Harlan Sanders, founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken in 1955, shows a man dressed in classic formal clothing beside an old car typical of the 1950s. His image symbolizes the beginning of one of the best-known fast food chains, whose growth influenced quick-service food and global culture. A young woman with 1940s style, dressed in formal clothing and neatly styled hair, represents the future Queen Elizabeth II before her reign. The photograph shows the importance of the British monarchy in the 20th century, whose history still influences the country's culture and politics today. Stephen Hawking's education at Oxford in 1962 marked the beginning of a scientific career that deeply influenced modern physics. His path showed the importance of academic effort and perseverance in the face of challenges, contributing to advances in the understanding of the universe. Lynda Carter, known for her role as Wonder Woman, appears beside her mother, Juanita Cordova, in a black and white photograph from 1972. The image reveals the fashion of the time, with typical clothing and accessories, reflecting the cultural and social setting of London, where the actress began her artistic career. Yvonne de Carlo, an icon of classic cinema, lived her career between the 1930s and 1960s, a period marked by black and white productions that influenced the look of the era. Her presence reinforces the importance of vintage Hollywood in shaping pop culture to this day, while also representing the glamour of old cinema. In the 1960s, movie stars such as Verna Lisi, Ursula Andress, Marissa Mell, and Claudine Auger defined the glamour of the era with sophisticated clothing, shiny fabrics, and elegant cuts. These figures helped establish the fashion style that influenced global trends and reflect the cultural impact of cinema during that period. In the late nights of the 1960s, women's fashion stood out with long, straight hair, sleeveless dresses, and deep necklines, reflecting the spirit of freedom and innovation of the time. Designers and photographers, such as Douglas Kirkland, captured these moments, influencing global trends. The September 1918 campaign on the Western Front marked one of the largest American actions in World War I, helping drive the Allied victory and speeding the end of the conflict. The effort of the soldiers, wearing period clothing and using manual equipment, highlighted courage and decisive strategy in that historical phase. Inside a space in Finland, a group of people, mostly women, danced to the sound of a 1960s discotheque, with period clothing, elaborate hairstyles, and sound technology from the time, reflecting the cultural influence of parties that shaped Finnish youth. During the filming of Frankie and Johnny in 1991, actors moved through the streets of New York wearing traditional clothing of the time, with hair and styles reflecting the early 1990s. This production highlighted the revival of independent cinema in the city, marking an important phase in American film history. A woman with short, wavy hair shows a fashion style that marked the 1960s by wearing modern swimwear. The outdoor scene includes clear water, suggesting a pool or beach with natural lighting and no technological or architectural elements, reflecting the style of that era. The vibrant scene shows young women wearing short skirts, sleeveless tops, and curly hair in voluminous styles, reflecting fashion from the 1950s and 1960s. A candy machine with signs in English symbolizes the growth of consumer demand for manufactured products, marking a time of cultural and economic change after the war. An informal group of friends, possibly from the 1960s or 1970s, celebrates consumer culture with casual clothing, sneakers, and shirts, showing a connection with the United States drink team. This era was marked by the growing popularity of leisure activities and social gatherings in public spaces or bars. By winning the Miss World title, Dutch contestant Corrine Rotschafer stood out for her beauty and elegance, marking an era when beauty pageants were gaining worldwide attention. Her victory helped establish the importance of these events in 1950s popular culture, reflecting the beauty standard of the time. In the 1970s, city streets became lively with vintage vehicles and people wearing clothing typical of the time, while signs like the one for Garf's store reflected growing commerce and older architecture. This phase marked the economic and cultural growth of the period. In the early 20th century, a scene in Amsterdam shows traditional carriages and wet cobblestone streets reflecting light in the rain. This period marked the progress of black and white photography, capturing everyday life before modern technologies transformed the city. The photograph captures Manhattan's rapid growth during the 1940s, a time when New York was becoming established as a global financial and cultural center, with its tall buildings and grid-planned streets reflecting the city's optimism and modernization. Inside a 1936 general store, stacks of paper with labels and a packaging typical of the time reveal the daily routine of small businesses in the United States, marked by vintage furniture and incandescent light bulbs, reflecting the growth of consumer activity during the Great Depression. With wooden furniture, period clothing, hats, and hand tools, a rural store reveals commerce in the late 19th century, a moment of transition between the traditional agricultural world and the changes that led to urbanization. The metal structure and rural setting show the commercial innovations of the time. Men wearing suspenders and wide-brimmed hats gather in an old-style trade office from the 19th century or early 20th century with wooden buildings, simple light poles, and period vehicles in the background, symbolizing economic growth and modernization in the countryside. People wearing simple, dark clothing, wooden carriages, and horses carrying passengers reinforce life in Perry, Oklahoma, around 1893. This period marked the expansion of the western frontier, influencing urbanization and the development of towns around commercial points, such as the quick soup stand. The cod catch by a group of boys in Quebec in 1943 shows the importance of fishing to the local economy during World War II, a period of high global demand for food and resources. This activity supported many coastal communities at the time. Women in the Brittany region of France reflected a craft tradition that had lasted since the 19th century by making lace with techniques passed down from generation to generation. This activity, a symbol of cultural identity, helped bring worldwide recognition to the richness of French craftsmanship and its preservation. In the early 20th century, an old wooden Ferris wheel stood within the architecture of Paris, attracting families wearing formal clothing and carrying umbrellas under lanterns. This image reveals the classic character of amusement parks, showing the progress of black and white photography and capturing urban daily life at that time. Wooden houses with sliding windows, gabled roofs, and a small staircase were common in rural areas of the United States in the 1930s. This structure reflects the simplicity and practicality of homes for people in remote areas during the economic crisis, marking a time of hardship and adaptation. In the late 1940s, the popularity of swings reflected the search for moments of leisure and escape after World War II, which deeply shaped global society. This era brought important cultural and economic changes, influencing everyday life and popular entertainment. The early 1910s marked advances in naval engineering, with the construction of large vessels and port structures that boosted trade and maritime colonization. The image reveals a time of technological innovation and economic expansion, influencing Brazilian port development. The setting shows a pool with a wooden slide and people in the background dressed in clothing typical of the 1940s, reflecting mid-20th century architecture. This period marked the beginning of a transformation in American popular culture, influencing fashion, leisure, and the urban development of New York. Gertrude Duar, known as Mademoiselle Omega, performs a tightrope act at the Brockton Fair in Massachusetts in 1908. Her appearance highlights the growth of the circus in the United States, which became a popular form of entertainment and cultural endurance in the first decade of the 20th century. Waldo's Store, founded in 1853 in Oregon, symbolizes the growth of local commerce in the 19th century, driven by population growth and the expansion of transportation routes. Its brick structure and arched windows reflect the style of the time, marking the urban development of that period. Men in the early 20th century standing in front of a wooden structure with brick walls and a wire screen window represent a moment of modernization and urban growth. These restored images reveal the effort to preserve the history of that period, marked by important social and economic changes. In the 1980s, the film Classe de Cabane portrays the impact of music on young people as a way to challenge school authority, reflecting cultural changes that influenced the Brazilian education system. This period marked a major social and political transition in the country. In the 1960s, the sign on the door of a house on Beaumont Drive delivers a blunt message, reflecting the climate of caution and distrust during the period. This strict posture reveals concerns about unauthorized entry or unwanted visits, highlighting changes in residential communities at the time.
If you enjoyed this video and want to support the channel, please use the Super Thanks tool below. Your contribution helps us keep bringing you amazing historical content. Thank you so much for your support, and see you in the next video.